past curfew, so let's make it quick.
I don't know if it was the case tonight, but sometimes in basketball games you'll see team have not real aggressive in the first half and kind of not great energy, and then the coach yells at them at halftime and then come out a lot more aggressive. Do you ever yell at a team before the game hoping they come out?
Maybe that's, it was a terrible start, and our best players were not very good at all in the first half, and our bench didn't give us anything when they came in for the most part. And who would have thought Frank cutting the lead to 15 right before halftime would be a big play? But the one thing about this place, if you can just hang around and you don't have to, there's no 6 or 8 point plays, just trying to win each 4 minutes. If you're able to do that, which we were, the crowd would get into it. And once the crowd got into it, we played with so much more energy. But it was a bad team to play in the first half and a terrific Florida team, and then the roles reversed the second half. We played very, very well, and they missed some shots, but we also defended them so much better.
When you had the 2 short guards in for a lot of the second half, how did that change it at both ends?
Well, I thought we guarded them better. I thought we kept them out of the paint better. Our game plan was to go under ball screens in the first half on those 2 little guards, but we really didn't do it. Our ball screen defense was horrendous, and then we tried switching everything, and that didn't work great. And then they just out hustled us. Even if we'd have if we'd played tougher and harder the first half, the game, they would have been ahead, but it would have been 8 instead of 15 or something like that. And in the second half, we controlled the glass, and our first shot defense was excellent. And for the most part, we put pressure on them by getting to the free throw line.
How much do you think a game like Wayne played tonight can help him going forward?
Well, it should give him confidence. He needs to see the ball go in, and it doesn't seem like much, but he made a layup to start the game, and then he made a 3 right after that. So even though he didn't score a lot in the first half, I don't know what he had the first half. He may have had close to 8 or 10, but he made real points the second half. Those are real college baskets. When you don't run good offense and you just jump up and make a shot. So they weren't easy points, and so that should give him a lot of confidence.
So you said at some point last year you thought that Wayne could be as good a leader as you've ever had here. Do you still, what's he do that kind of has helped this team?
Well, I think first of all, if you're going to be a leader, you got to have a presence, and he's got a presence. But even more importantly than just having a presence, he's got a physical presence. And so I think that kind of gives him a leg up on some guys that maybe don't have that physical presence. But he's an alpha male, and he just hadn't had anything go right for him for the most part the first 4 or 5 games of the season, and it was nice to see that lid come off.
Do you talk to him about that at all? Has there been any talks?
There hasn't been a lot of talks, because I think the more you talk about some things, sometimes you magnify the situation. What I've tried to convince him to do is worry about making basketball plays as opposed to scoring. If you're a shooter and you think you're going to come out if you miss, then you're going to miss. But if you're a shooter and all you care about is jumping the ball screens and hitting a man on rotation rebounding and things like that, then you don't put so much pressure on your shot. I thought that was probably the case with him.
Bill, when Billy was in here, he said he really wanted to force you guys to shoot layups and threes, and Wayne, it seemed, really got kind of going in the mid-range game. Do you think, do people overlook kind of what you can do from the mid-range point of?
I don't know. Most people would say, I don't know what context Billy said it, but most people would say, don't let them shoot threes and don't let them shoot layups. Make them shoot mid-range games.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but that would be everybody's defensive strategy. But we haven't shot the ball very well behind the arc, and it's amazing to me how Florida put so much pressure on us by driving the pass in the second half. I don't know if we drove the pass as much, but we drove it hard, and of course nobody drives it better than Wayne when he puts his head down because he's so strong.
Was halftime more about getting some emotion out of the guys, or was it adjustments, or
a
little bit of both?
Those things are so overblown. We changed how we guarded ball screens a little bit, but not a lot. But if the truth be told, halftime was, I don't know if I'm going to play him again tonight. And I don't know if I'm going to play him again tonight. That was more my thinking. And then I, said, okay, let's just go back to being who we are and try to win the first 4 minutes and then the second 4 minutes. And what we did the second half, we were polar opposites of the first half. we got rebounded 24-9 the second half, and they out rebounded us 18-11 the first half. And they didn't get stuff in transition second half, and we got some stuff. And I mean, it was just like Jekyll and Hyde almost the second half compared to the first.
What did you think of Cliff's free throws?
Well, everybody shot them great. Of course, nobody shot them better than Cliff, but everybody shot their free throws great. Of course, we needed them tonight.
Coach, what have you learned about the mental makeup of your team, not only after that Kentucky game, but especially the second half tonight?
Well, they're totally different. You know, everybody keeps referring back to the game, but I didn't learn much that night at all, other than the fact that we weren't ready for that stage. Tonight, you know, we learned that, because we'll draw from this again, we learned that, hey, no matter what the situation is, it's a long game. And the guys did play it like it was a long game. They played pretty smart second half. And so, you know, we're probably, you know, I'll never give them credit for being as tough as they need to be, but we're probably a little tougher than what I thought we were going into the game. Because the first half I thought we were an extremely soft team and not a real competitive team. But you know, they definitely changed it in the second half.
Is Frank okay? It looked like he didn't have any intention of not being on the floor there.
I think he turned it pretty good. He was hobbling pretty good, but I don't know exactly where he is, and I won't have any idea. But he's a tough kid. He'll play unless there's something really wrong and where it takes a few days. But he may miss a practice or two, but he'll be out there.
Bill, Coach Donovan said that the first half was their height advantage basically got you guys. How did the team?
Their what advantage?
Height advantage.
Yeah.
Height advantage. How did the team adjust to that in the second half?
I think we tried to, you know, Norm did a great job with the scout, but the whole deal is with the scout, and Billy's right, you know, we blocked off some, and then they were able to back tap the ball or go over us because we were soft. And the second half, I thought we did a much better job of going after the ball. But they played harder than us the first half. I mean, you know, their whole team did, and there were several plays that kind of, you know, did or showed everybody that was the case, that they had more balance and more energy, and then we kind of felt sorry for ourselves and let one bad play become two or two become four, and next thing you know, we're not in the game. But the second half, it was just totally different. I thought that we played much tougher the second half. I mean, 24-9 against that team that's dominating the glass. I mean, that was pretty good the second half.
Anything else?
How well did you get to know the new football coach while he was here?
Not great, but I know David, and really happy for him, and happy for Clint. You know, I hope it's going to be a great marriage for KU and for the staff, but obviously an exciting hire. I spoke with him last night late, and he was excited. I thought I was excited when I took the job here, and he blew me away with how fired up he was. I'm going to come see his press conference on Monday just so I can maybe some of that juice rub off on me, because that is an exciting guy, and you know, he's fired up about staff possibilities and everything else going on. So, you know, congratulations to our department and our administration for hiring him, but more importantly, I think it'll be a good fit. I really do, and we need to have some guys with some juice and energy, and I think he'll hire staff that's got that. So I think it's really good for us.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.